I'm Steve Cluxton, Superintendent at Pine Tree ISD. What I love about Pine Tree ISD is our kids. You know, we've got some kids that come from struggling backgrounds, but we don't see it as something that prevents them from being anything they want to be. They're plumb full of potential. When I arrived in Pine Tree ISD, the board wanted us to create long-range plans, and so one of our biggest expenses that we have is facilities, so we began working on a long-range facilities plan. We've been working on that for the last 5 years.
What I love most about PTISD is that it's just a happy place to be. It's a place where we are family, and once you're family, you're always family. The board has been actively involved in this process for over 5 years, and we visited buildings and looked at facilities firsthand so that we could see it with our own eyes.
The 2023 referendum is the recommendation of the 10-year master plan the district has developed. Phase 1 of the 10-year master plan will include additions and renovations and new construction, which will increase the efficiency of our campuses as well as the associated lifespan of those campuses. In Phase 1, the bond is going to add square footage to Parkway Elementary School, which is about 18,000 square foot smaller than Birch Elementary. We're also going to renovate and enlarge the cafeteria space over at Parkway, which is significantly smaller than the Birch Elementary.
We currently have so many students at Parkway that we have to start serving lunches very early in the morning. Not only will the expansion help with the lunches, it would also facilitate more people to be able to come in and see their child during award ceremonies. We've had so many times where parents have missed because there's not enough room in that area to see their child. Also included in this bond is an increase in space in our ever-growing art and music programs. Currently at Parkway Elementary, our special ed department is located in a portable building next to the campus. This bond will include new facilities for those kids to be brought to the main campus so that we can have all of our kids under one roof.
As well, we're going to do some minor renovations over at Birch in order to expand the lifespan of that campus. The Pine Tree Junior High School would receive additional extracurricular space in the form of a larger new band hall. We're also going to renovate locker rooms and the current bathrooms on that campus.
The restroom facilities at the junior high were built in the 70s. They're getting towards the end of their life. Commodes, urinals, some wall situations. Due to the excitement of new programs that we've instilled at the junior high and students being involved in our choir and our bands, it's created overcrowding. The addition of a new band and choir hall will reduce those issues. The area that would be abandoned from band and choir would be open to be utilized by our athletic programs. We'd take the current athletic weight room and move it to those facilities. That would put it right next door to the current girls and boys athletic programs. This would eliminate the use of students going all the way through educational hallways to get to the weight room now.
Pine Tree High School campus has limited space to add new facilities, so our first step would be to move the current baseball field.
Athletics is included in this bond because of the space required for the new expansion with the CTE building is where the baseball field currently sits. The baseball field will be relocated next to the softball field at the junior high campus. Due to the increased participation in our CTE programs, the new CTE building would house programs like welding, construction, automotive, culinary, our pharmacy tech, and many, many more that are continuing to grow. The renovations at the high school would include things like carpet, paint, and doors.
Phase 2 of the master plan would be the larger of the two and would come somewhere around 2030 when the district pays off all of its old debt. The first thing we would do is build a new 3-story building in the space provided by moving the baseball field in Phase 1. Once completed, we could tear down the old buildings at the high school and add a new front on the high school that faces Fairmont as the high school was originally designed. It would also allow us to move student drop-off from the northwest side of the building over to the Fairmont side of the building. Currently at the high school, we have multiple outside buildings. One of the problems is we have to move through a corridor, what we call the counseling center, 3 doors on one end, 2 on the other. And we're running roughly 1,000 to 1,300 kids through that area every 50 minutes or so. And so it creates a bottleneck. It is a very troublesome spot when kids are trying to get from one side of the campus to the other in that 6-minute passing period. With the construction in Phase 2 of a new 3-story building, that would create the flow outside in a courtyard area and make us much more efficient, allow us to get to class in a more timely fashion. As well, in Phase 2, we would be looking to replace the Birch campus with a new building right beside the current location. In order to do major renovations to Birch, we've got to bring everything up to safety, energy efficiency, all the codes that have to be brought in, and it's a significant amount of money, whereas in phase 2, we plan to replace that building. Over the last 5 years, our overall tax rate has dropped 51 cents, down from $1.55 all the way down to $1.38. Also, in Pine Tree ISD, we have a local homestead exemption of 20%. We're one of about 100 districts that still have that 20% exemption. That exemption is in addition to the state's homestead exemption.
The M&O tax rate provides funds for day-to-day expenses such as salaries, curriculum, supplies, and extracurricular activities. Interest and sinking taxes provide funds for bonded debt that finance our district's facilities, which is similar to a mortgage payment. Bonded debt must be approved by voters.
It would take our district decades upon decades to save for these kinds of projects.
Whenever you're developing a long-range facilities plan, you always want to involve your community because they're the users of your facilities. They're the taxpayers, they're the stewards of what we do here. And we want to make sure that they have a say because sometimes they're going to see something that we didn't see. And then they have feedback and provide us guidance for something that we may have missed. If you have any questions about the bond program, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone at 903-806-0840. Be happy to answer any of those questions. I want to also let you know that early voting starts on October 23rd and Election Day is November 7th.